Hello everyone, so this will be the last Nyunga Mbira lesson for a while now because we need to move to the big guns. The Mbira Dzavadzimu. So we're going to continue from Mbira lesson 5 where we learned the Kutsinira or backing part of Chamutengure, and in this video we're going to look at the variations of the Kutsinira part and also the Kushara part. So in this case, the variations of the Kutsinira part are just different ways you can use to still play the Kutsinira part, and I want you to be responsible for that depending on what you're feeling or what you're hearing in your head. But for this episode I'll just do a few examples so that you can get started. Okay, so a quick recap before we go to the variations. So whatever variations you come up with should support whatever the bass is doing. So the bass part for Chamutengure is 1 4 1 5. And if you don't understand what that means, go to the previous Mbira episodes. I explained that a little bit better. But in short, 1 4 1 5 just means this. Do, fa, do, so. Okay, so going back to the variations now. So when the bass is playing 1, I said in Mbira episode 5, I said we should at least try to put 6 notes within a bar, or 6 notes before we change to the other part of the bass. And remember, this is just a guideline. You will make your own variations of those notes, or even add more notes that you feel will sound nice for the Kutsinira part. Okay, so going to the Kushara part now. So the Kushara part will consist of the Chamutengure melody that gets repeated over and over throughout the song, similar to the Nemam Sasa song. But remember, the Nyunga Mbira has one missing note from the major scale, and unfortunately this is a crucial note if you want to make the Chamutengure melody properly. So we'll need to find workarounds to this, and there are many ways to deal with this problem, but in this episode we'll just focus on 2. 1, just like what we did on the Kutsinira part, you can also make variations of the Kushara part to cater for that missing note, and also that's up to you. Pluck different notes on the Mbira and listen for what's sounding nice, and hear if it's making sense with the Kutsinira part and with the bass part, but this is what I came up with. Another thing you could do is to ask for help from the big brother Mbira Dzavadzimu, which has all notes of the major scale. No missing note here, but that's for the next Mbira episode. For now, let's go to the music, and you can check the shakers and the djembe episode for the rhythm section of this, because I already did the djembe and the shakers for Nemam Sasa, and the same patterns will work perfectly for Chamutengure as well. So you can just go check those episodes. For now, let's go to the music. Okay, wait. So there's one more important thing that I left out on the Nyunga Mbira. So this is the bass part or the chord progression of Chamutengure. And this is for Nemamusasa. Both are starting at 1, and these are the notes we play when the bass is playing 1 on Chamutengure. And these are the notes we play when the bass is playing 1, but for Nemamusasa this time. Do you notice that when the bass is playing 1, for Chamutengure, we're playing different notes from the notes we play when the bass is playing 1 on Nemamusasa. And the reason why it's like that is, remember, if we go back to Mbira lesson 3, where I introduced you to the numbered notation, where I showed you how the notes are laid out on the Nyunga Mbira. So if you check, I gave you 2 different note layouts. So there's key 1 and key 2. So in key 1 is here, and on key 2 1 is here. So what happened here is on Nemamusasa, we just started 1, or the first note of the scale, using this key. And for Chamutengure, we used this key so that we explore the different ways you can use the Nyunga Mbira. And honestly, this was a very clever way to set up the notes, considering Nyunga Mbira has very few notes and a lot of them are repeated. So it has very few notes, but it can play music in 2 different keys. Well done to Mr. Jeketa Pera, who did this back in Blawayo back in the 1960s. But this is going to be an even more interesting Mbira, because the notes are set up in much cleverer ways, and you can do a lot more with the Mbira Zavadzimo. And that's for the next Mbira episode. See you on the next one. Boom.